Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So that sounded exactly like my mom. Okay, so I am in New York City, and I made a little trip out of it because I'm going to the Mina Rees. It's for like celebrating women in New York. I think mathematicians. So there's going to be all kinds of mathematicians there. I'm really excited, and I made like a little trip out of it. I can't shut the door very well because the safe like stays open. That's what. Okay. So I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, I made a little trip of it. I'm staying downtown. It's really fun. And I had a really fun night last night while just walking around a little bit. I didn't actually do much. I just mostly stayed in here. But I'm really excited to go to the conference today. And I'm really excited to give my talk. And I guess normally when I give a talk, I do feel a little nervous because it's like previously, and they always say like when you're doing your own research, it's like so different. But I mean, my other stuff was my own research, but like it was built on so much of other people's things that like it's a lot of information, and I don't want to get something wrong and like get into the like details of the proof, for something that's like that I need to do my proof or something. It's just a lot of information, and it's very, very fun stuff. But this is like very different because it's like I just made it up, after many, many years. I just made it up, so, and again, I was really inspired by seeing other people, and even people that I haven't seen give talks, just like set theorists that have these they do crazy things, and like, I'm just really inspired by that. Like, just do what you want, because this is what's in my heart. And so I'm so excited to give the talk. I'm really excited to see if anyone has anything like, criticisms or like, did you think about this or anything. I haven't had one person yet because I haven't actually done this, talked about this to people in the real world except for on here. So I haven't actually had one person just be like, oh yeah, actually that's interesting, or doesn't make sense for, I don't know, just one word, just one good job, or one, I'm not so sure. I would love that. I would love any discussion of it. And I think this is something that's very different too with presenting other talks, is like, I don't want someone to tell me, oh, actually I think that's wrong, or like that proof, because they're probably like incorrect or something. Like I need to like, oh, actually it's correct, This is like, I don't know, like, what do you think? Like it's just so much more open for debate. So I'm really excited about that. So instead of I usually, when I give a talk, I get a little nervous that someone's going to say like, what about that? Like, well, what if you did I don't know. Like, I get nervous that someone will say anything other than great job, I mean, I'm sure that people get nervous about that too. But this time I'm like, I want you to be like, I don't think so. I hope someone says, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work, or I don't like that. I hope someone says that. Because then that means like, oh, it's like an actual thing that exists that you're talking about. Okay, guys. So if you're seeing this, then I'm gonna try and record my talk. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to. So if I'm able to, I will put it on this and you'll see this. If I'm not able to, then you're not even gonna see this anyway. But I hope you're having a great day. And if anyone's going to the conference, I'll see you there. And yeah, have an excellent math day. I'll let you know how it goes.
Hello, good morning. I'm so happy to see you and to be here. And the last time I saw you, I was just about to give the talk, and it went really well. I really I was like, it went really well. Like, I was really glad to give that talk, and it felt like it was so fun. It was like kind of felt like when I was at the Palmer House and I didn't want to leave. That conference was really fun. The Mina Rees conference was like, there were so many great speakers, and like right away the first speaker was like talking about like Klein bottles and Mobius strips, and had like a lot of really cool like art basically, and like made out of wire and cool colors, and like that just started it off. But it was just such a fun day, and I felt so happy with my talk because there was just like a lot of comments, and people were asking really good questions, and they were interested, and they were like excited and listening. And like I've given a lot of other talks, but like this one just felt so like my own, and it was so fun. And if anything, I think I said a few times like, oh, this is like crazy, or that maybe this doesn't work, or something like that. Someone was like afterwards like, that's what math is. It's like this, like math is this. This is exactly what math is. Well, I was just happy to hear that, and like and like that was actually a student. So there's a lot of really cool students. There's like Shaban, Emma, Lucy, and then I met Eamon and Ryan, and I happened to run into some some professors that were there when I was there, like Professor Keene and Professor Delarum, and they're so cool. And I saw Melkana, and Sandra was so nice, and like so it was so awesome, and just like a lot of positive feedback. And someone said they were vaguely familiar with who I was, so I felt like, oh, I like a celebrity. So no, it was just like really fun. It was just really cool talks. There was like an undergrad from Brooklyn, and I didn't catch her name, but she was like fully participating and like asking great questions. And there's always the coolest people at the grad center, and just in the CUNY schools in general. And so yeah, it was so great. Okay, and I gave my talk about killing primes, and like definitely people were like asking questions, and then also like I felt like the professors were like they got it, and like they were like it made sense, and like like they were asking the right questions and answering them too, and like people were asking questions during the talk. It was only like 15 minutes, but I just enjoyed it so much. It made me want to like, I guess it's like, it took me a while to like articulate and share what I was thinking. And I'm just so happy that I did. And it makes me want to share more with others. It makes me want to like, this is really fun, but like talking into people is even more fun about it. But then also what was interesting was that after the talk, someone sent me an email that like about an idea that they had a while ago that had like a programming challenge to it, and the idea was, so I'll pull up that, I'm gonna make a little note for myself. Okay, put up the question that's on this like code golf. Okay, I'm like familiar with Math Overflow, Stack Exchange, stuff like that, but I'm not so familiar with this other one. But it's like a Stack Exchange type thing, like it was like a coding challenge. But this idea was like, their idea was like, if at n equals 4 means like killing all the primes less than 4. So kill at n equals 4. You can see on the screen there. It's like killing 3 and 2. So now 4 is prime, and I think in that. I now have to look at. Oh, let me just look at it real quick. Okay. Yeah, at n equals 4 is like killing 2 and 3, because now 4 is prime, and 6 is prime, and 9 is prime. Okay, and then n equals 6 is like killing 2, 3, and 5. Okay, so that's exactly what similar idea. And so this is just like, this is killing all the primes up to a point, and that's very interesting. And I have thought something like that, and where mine's like, you can pick out certain primes and just kill them that way. Okay, so this is really nice. I thought it was like a really similar idea. And so this idea stems from this definition of primes, which is basically, this is what, in M, this is the whole idea. This is how they think of primes. Like in stages, like this is in the post, they say, one of my favorite definitions of the prime numbers goes as follows: 2 is the smallest prime. Numbers larger than 2 are prime if they're not divisible by a smaller prime. That's exactly the idea in M. Each stage you go to, if you can be being built by a previous prime block is the same as being divisible by that prime. So that's how M thinks. And so that's exactly like a generalization of that, and they sort of went in like killing up to a level, and this is more like picking out ones. Yeah, it's like a generalization. And then, you can see on there too, they put that, he put like, my story, a link to my story on there. So that's very cool. So there was, it's kind of like in this story, when he goes to the world 4 blocks. So that's cool. That was really cool. So I'm just so excited that like there's, not only it's like really great questions out there, like, this is Shaban was like organizing the seminar. It was so great. Asked if in n to the minus capital P, does each n have a unique prime factorization? So yeah, that was a good question. I think, I would say yes, because it's like if you have the prime factorization of n in m to the minus capital P, then each of those primes is either a square free number or a a square of a previous prime, so you can like write their prime factorization. So then that takes you back to the prime factorization of n and v, and that has to be unique. I think that's or something like that. I hadn't thought about that. I guess I just assumed that might be true, but yeah. So it makes me want to keep working on it, but I kind of want to work with people on it. So yeah, if anyone ever has comments or something like that, or want to talk to me about it, I'm definitely open to working with others. I'm just glad it's out there. Also, it's really fun because if like the coders or like the computers, I mean, they're like the coolest or something, you know, like if they can be interested in this project, then that is really cool, because with the large cardinal stuff, it's just like less people can be interested in it, or you can't really program it really at this stage or something. But this, you can do something with like programming and coding, and I don't know. Okay, so that was so awesome. So and I'm just excited to get back to math in the morning, and yeah, who knows what'll happen next in the summer and the fall and stuff like that. But for now, we'll just keep working on math in the morning, and then keep working on this. And okay, so thanks if anyone's listening that came to the talk and stuff, thanks so much. It was awesome. It was like the best. It was even better than the Palmer House, and the Palmer House was so great. So I can't wait to give another talk at another conference and continue working. And also these students, they were all like working together too. They were like collaborating, you know, before they even graduated, they're collaborating, and that's really awesome. But it's like a really cool vibe there. It reminds me of when I was there. So that was fun. Okay, well, thanks for listening, and see you next time on Math in the Morning.